Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to the Mary and Sam Show. We're delighted to be here with you today. And today we're going to talk about when your dreams that you had or the videos that you were playing in your head don't match up with reality. This can be a sore source of pain for people, and it can lead to unhappiness. So this is what we want to talk about. Mary, what's your thoughts?
Good morning and good afternoon, everybody. Sometimes in life we create a dream in our head, a dream at some point in our life that maybe it seemed or felt very appealing or exciting. Maybe when you were a kid or maybe you were a teenager, you witnessed your mom and dad doing something great that you wanted to do exactly like them. Or maybe your uncle or someone, a role model that you looked up to, or maybe a movie or a show that you watched that just their ideal world, their life seemed so exciting to you that you wanted to replicate that. Now, sometimes in our adult life, we pause and think about, why is it that I still haven't accomplished or achieved that dream? Or I'm not there, or maybe it's far away from me. Then you have to stop and pause and reevaluate your life to see, was that really your dream that you wanted to follow based on what you valued in life? Or was it maybe someone else's dream that maybe seemed good on the outside,
Sure.
but maybe it wasn't your own dream? And that's what we're talking about today. And I know you had a personal experience in that department.
Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted to, anybody who's known me, my goal was always to be a billionaire. Well, I'm not a billionaire. Surprise. And I was thinking about this, and I have a cousin who's very wealthy, and I think that he's done very well for himself. And we aren't that far apart in age. I think he's about 2 years older than me. And I always wondered, why was he able to achieve what he wanted, and why didn't I? And so Mary asked me a question, where did that dream come from? I mean, why was it there? And I thought to myself, well, when I was young, I used to think about, we had a lot of money and everybody used to come over to our house and everything was great. And then until my father passed away, we didn't have money. And then nobody came over to our house anymore. So that's probably one of my earliest childhood memories of, equating money to happiness, essentially equating it to being around my dad.
Yeah.
And so this is a memory that I've built up, and this was the vision that I had. And then growing up here in America, I often refer to this. I used to watch a show called Dynasty, and I liked that guy, Blake Carrington, because everybody was around him. He had this big house, and all his kids wanted to be around him. It reminded me of this father figure, which I didn't have. So again, it was more of that same idea that you need this feeling,
togetherness,
because I missed out on my dad. So the other part of that is also I used to watch Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous with Robin Leach. I really liked, how people had these big mansions and Ferraris and boats and airplanes, and I love airplanes. Anybody that knows me knows that I love airplanes. So I always had this idea of, I'm going to be on a jet flying somewhere, going to Manhattan, making business deals and things like that. However, my life is not like that.
So why not? So what's the realization? It's not like, are you giving up on your dream, or you were following someone else's dream that did not match up your values?
I think that, when you hit a certain age, you start to realize, okay, that fantasy, it's probably not going to happen. And so I have to come to grips with reality. And what stopped me is I found out that I have other more important things in my life, like my family life. My cousin, he left. He was away from his family. I was always here because what I found is that I truly value more than anything is being a father. So I'm actually going back to my own childhood and helping myself out because I experienced life without a father. Now, you don't need to feel sorry for me because I had a great life. I had a great mother who taught me right and a great grandmother who raised us right. That said, you know, what I don't want is my son to experience the fact that his dad is not around, or my daughter experience the fact that he's not around. So for me, the reality is I love being a dad. I love...
More than owning airplanes and cars and all of that luxury.
Yeah. And one of my coaches early on, his name was Shadi Bazi, and he's on Facebook. He's a great, great coach. He told me, he said, you know, I said, I want to make $1 million. And he said, why do you want to make $1 million? I said, well, because I want to own a Ferrari and have a mansion. He goes, okay, you have a Ferrari and you have a mansion now. Now what? Is your why that important for you to get that? He wasn't questioning what I was, why I had that. He was just saying, okay, now you have it, so what?
So what?
Is that why strong enough to get you to do what's required to be that guy?
Yeah.
And I realized that if in order for me to do that, I have to sacrifice something.
Yeah, there's always a sacrifice involved.
Yeah, and the sacrifice would have been that I wouldn't have seen my wife, I wouldn't have seen my kid as much, because initially, I don't care who you are, we tend to think, well, that just happened overnight. No. Nothing happens overnight. It takes time, effort, and dedication.
To create success.
To create success. My hero is Warren Buffett, and he missed out on a lot, and I realized that, you know what, I'm not going to do that because I value what I have with my wife. I value what I have with my son. It took me a long time to come to grips with that and understand that, you know, being a billionaire isn't going to be what I want. It's some dream that I have, but it's not really, I'm not willing to give up my life for that. So therefore, I'm totally happy now. But I had to come to grips with that, because there was a time where I was very disappointed and frustrated why it's not happening. And if you read a book called, you know, the Happiness Factor, it tells you that you need to be happy first before success comes. It's not the other way around. Success will not make you happy. You need to be happy first and become successful next.
So I think the message is that, you know, it's great to learn from role models. It's great to learn from, you know, your father figure, your mom or your grandfather, your uncle. And it's important to take those lessons and come back and search within to see which part of this plan is it going to match your values based on what you truly value in your heart, and then modify and edit that plan. Because you cannot be Warren Buffett, you cannot be Bill Gates, you cannot be Joe Smith, but you can be yourself, knowing who you are and what you value, and come up with a plan that is going to still make you feel successful, but yet be happy in the end, because that's what's really important. Because sometimes we bluntly follow somebody else's success model, and in the long run we get frustrated that how come we're not there yet. Is because you are not that excited, or that goal is not as emotionally charging you to do it, otherwise you would have done it. So that's the realization that you have to make sure. Go back within and modify that goal or that, you know, success model, so then in the end you're happy. That's the message.
Yeah, truly, that's it. Just if you're one of those people like I was, where it wasn't going the way I wanted, you have to realize what's really important to you. And up until this point, subconsciously, you've been doing exactly what you were meant to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that reality from your subconscious mind is actually driving you to do what you need to do. However, it takes some time for the subconscious mind and the conscious mind to come to terms. And I've done that, and then I've found happiness.
Yep. It's all in the mind and psychology.
Right.
Thank you so much for watching this week's show. Till next time, Mary and Sam. Sam and Mary.
Yeah, get it right. Mary and Sam. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.